do, my peoples? What it do? I just realized when I got down here how much of a mess I made yesterday, unboxing everything. And yeah, it's driving me crazy. So, like 2 seconds to just move some of this crap out of my visual acuities because it messes up the brain, and then we can go. Sorry. So today, I wanted to get into some more brainstorming technique. We've been talking the last couple weeks about basically, not running out of content ideas. People be running out of content ideas, and I want to see what we could do to sort of help that, right? Here, my brother is texting me stuff. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to go into the do not mess with me June mode, and now we're good. What is up, GG? Let's do this. I see Sammy just popped in. All right, so I got some ideas on the subject, and I want to walk you guys through them. Let me just pop open my notes real quick. And yes, the reason why I'm like mad lollygagging this AM is because I was legit watching rugby. And super funny. Yeah, it's super funny. It was kind of good. Hold on, let me tell him I'll holler when I'm done streaming. And my brother knows when I stream. Damn it. There you go. All right, so one of the things that I have been looking at, I went through this training, I want to say, bro, like 2009. And it's weird because it's one of those ones that I would definitely say I kind of forgot about. You know what I'm saying? It's been so long since I used it, I kind of forgot about it. And then I was doing something in Japan, and it sparked my intuition on it, and I was like, yo, maybe this will be a good one to talk about for the showgram. So I put together a little piece, and I want to talk to you guys about it. So one of the things I thought about as a training I went through many, many moons ago, Apple days, and it was about the 6-hat thinking methodology. So the 6-hat thinking methodology was primarily put together by Edward de Bono, and it was kind of designed for individuals and teams to help you approach problem solving and decision making from different perspectives. Because what people tend to do when you're trying to solve a problem, especially in a group, is they'll just see it the way they see it, and they'll block pretty much all other ideas out, and they're not trying to hear nothing else, right? And so that requires people to sort of get a spot and dig in. Now, anybody that's been any time in the gold class has definitely seen moments where, someone can dig in to their thought and they're not trying to hear nothing. Paul. I'm joking, Paul. And the other Paul, right? So what 6 hats does is it requires you to take on the various positions, right? So each hat represents a different style of thinking or an approach. We're talking about logical thinking approach, an emotional thinking approach, which I totally suck at, a creative thinking approach, so forth, so on, et cetera, right? And by rocking the individual hats during the different portions of the thinking process, it's going to allow you to explore this problem and or this solution and or this subject in just different lights. It gives you the opportunity to see it from multiple angles. And when you can see the joint from multiple angles, you can generate more rounded solution normally a more comprehensive solution and something that tends to work out better for both you and your audience, right? Now, the cool thing about Six Hat is it's kind of designed for teams. Individuals can totally do it, but it encourages things like collaboration, critical thinking, effective communication skills. So when you have to do it by yourself, it's a little harder, but it can be done. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys just a general link to the Wikipedias. However, you can. There's a whole book about this, right? And you can find it on the Ozon. I'll give you the basics ones from the Wikipedias, and then actually let me fix this. Let me copy that, and then hope this works. I hope this works. Hey, come on now. Bam. All right, here we go. You like this hat, Dina? Yo, I don't normally do these kind of hats because they make me look peanut head, but Big Rich, I like the feel of this material. The material is dope, so I just decided to rock it. All right, let me see who else is in here. Shut up, Paul. Shut up. All right. Now I got Baba stuck watching rugby when we were in Japan. And so now that the tournament is going, I got to finish it up. But I've always watched rugby here and there. In Japan, they made me play, and it's painful. I'm just going to tell you, it's probably one of the hardest sports that people that play American football would probably laugh at, and it's way harder. As a person who's played both, it's way freaking harder. Okay, so that's the underlying principles, but let me also kick you down with the Amazon book for those of you like me who like to flex the brain cells and read them up. 6 hats, bam. Let's see, Edward the Bones. The hardcover is like 26 bones. Okay. Right? It feels good, don't it, Dina? All right, let's see. They got paperback. Okay, paperback is like 15 bones. I'll hit you guys with the paperback link because the hardcover is expensive. Hey, and by the way, when you see these books here on Amazon, if you happen to live somewhere cool like Seattle, you can find most of these guys in a used bookstore somewhere. Clarence, I've done that video about 1,100 times, and I'll do it for you real quick at the end of the show, but there's no rocket science involved whatsoever. It's purely physics and logic, but I would definitely show you at the end if you stick around, because it's not that hard, but I've done it a billion times. All right, let's get after this. So the first thing we want to just talk about is the 6 hats themselves, right? So I'm going to tell you what they are as the way Mr. Edward wrote it down, and then I'm going to tell you how I've figured out a way to retransmogrify that to work for content creating, okay? And yeah, there we go. So basically it consists of blue, white, red, black, yellow, and green hats. The blue hat is supposed to signify big picture thinking, managing, the ideas, considering all the factors, whatever your first important priorities are, whatever the possibilities are, that's the blue hat person. That's like blue sky thinking, right? We can do whatever, right? That's that person. And wait, let me finish the 6 and I'll tell you another idea that I had that I just think would be dope, right? So the white hat person is the facts and information person. Right? Like, if it ain't facts, it ain't life. That's just me. You guys know me. Like, if I don't do all of the woo-woo feelings and emotions BS. I go straight down the fact line. If it ain't factual, I ain't got nothing to do with it, right? So, but that's that person, that's that thinking hat person, right? They're going to study the facts. They're going to study the information. They're going to dig into the research. They're going to pull out numbers, data, analyze the whole 9 yards, and that's how you approach that particular portion of the subject, right? The red hat person is going into your Hill and your Tatiana team, that's your feelings and emotions squad, right? They want to tell you a little bit about the emotional side of the subject. It abridges a little bit of the id and the ego and the various portions of that, inner being. And, there's some little woos and spiritualities involved in that thinking, so forth, so on, et cetera. Then the black hat person, that would be the negative, right? So the negative person is going to take the idea and do a little plus minus interesting evaluation, right? So this is what could go wrong. This is what happened if we take this away. This will be interesting if this never happened, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to dig into that direction. The yellow hat person is going to do the exact same thing, but on the positive side, right? These are the pluses if we knock it all the way through. Here's some minuses if we knock it all the way through. This will be interesting if we knock it all the way through, and then we're going to evaluate the situation after that. And last but not least, the green hat person is the concept person, right? They're the new idea person. They do the lateral thinking. They challenge the concept, but then find a way to bring it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Hey, not my fault, fam. I didn't make Edward DeBono talk to Michelle, because you know what I'm saying? All right, so now let's talk about how to work this in the content creation. Now, before I get to that, I had an idea. What if I had a group of friends who had a podcast with 6 folks on it, who talked about all myriad concepts for content creators? And let's say they wanted to broach a subject like upgrading to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? We could put the facilitator on somebody like Rob. We could put the facts and information person on to say Keely. We could put the emotional person on to say Alec. Because of Michelle, we're going to put the negative person on to Black. We'll put Dina, say, onto the yellow side, and then we'll put Rich onto the green side. And for that particular episode, they're not allowed to break character. And they have to have this whole conversation about a particular topic that is, breaching towards creators, and they have to wear that hat all the way through that particular episode. Now, this would be a great episode segment, but it'd be a good way to, say, tackle something like burnout. Because you know me, I am 100% white hat on burnout, real deal Holyfield. My thoughts on burnout is, bitch, please. But that's a different subject. Anyway, we won't get into that. But imagine, yes, being able to put each one of them in the character. And so you switch it up in different shows, right? Or you might stop that particular thing, right? So they're going to go for an hour. They're going to rock 10 minutes with, each individual wearing a hat. They could take a little mix-up thing, build a wheel or something and re-scramble it, and then make each person adopt a different hat. That's what you do when you do it in a group, right? You allow people to switch up hats. There's also even methodologies on how to formulate the thought process according to which hats go in a row. So you're going to always put the blue person first because they're the facilitator. They're going to break down what's going on. But then you're going to go, white hat, green hat, blue hat. And then you're going to maybe go white hat, yellow hat, red hat, blue hat, black hat, green hat, right? So you can scramble it up. But it would be interesting if they were to do, special episodes where they broach a big topic and then make each person run a role. And then when the time is up, you scramble it. And then now Michelle's going to be the facilitator. Rich is going to be the white hat. Keely's going to be the black hat, so forth, so on, et cetera. Just scramble it up. That, my family, y'all can have that. Y'all can be like, man, thanks for the idea. I think that would be hella fun episode and really hard because I know for me, when I get stuck rocking the red hat, I'm gonna have a hard time. So that's going to force me out of my comfort zone of if I don't see no facts about it, I don't believe about it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Boom. There you go. So yeah, it'll be super interesting. So you're going to tell us which color each is wearing in the podcast? No, you don't have to. I think you automatically figure it out. Like if you know what's going on, but if not, I mean, I don't think it's important for them to have to say the roles. But if you did, it won't harm it. It won't make it worse. If you're afraid that it's going to like mar your personality, like Michelle's a pretty positive person. If she's in black hat role and she don't want people to just like, look, folks, I'm having to play devil's advocate right now. That's what we call the black hat folk, right? We call them devil's advocate, right? We call the blue hat person blue sky thinking. We tend to call the white hat person like the nerd or the otaku, as we say in Japan, or you know what I mean? So I think it's a cool way to approach certain episodes in their shows. And it doesn't have to be every episode, but it'd be a good way to take on big topics and run them through. What is up, Miss I? How are you doing out in these streets? All day, every day, absolutely, yes, so forth, so on, and etc. It is Rodecaster Pro can do it, and then there's direct softwares that can do it. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Okay, so let's talk about 6 hats for content creation. When you're rocking the white hat, what you're going to do is like, okay, you're going to get your paper out, you rock your book, Notion, whatever you use. And you're going to break down a subject matter. And I'm going to show you an example in a bit, but I'm kind of like burying that lead because I need you to stick around so that you can see what I did with it. And I blew my own freaking brains with this one. I was like, oh, say hey, girl. All right, listen. So you take the white hat and you're going to pick a topic, right? Let's come off the iPhone 15 or something. Let's talk about should you or should you not get the Rode Wireless Pro. All right, so the white hat side of that conversation is going to gather all of the available detail and facts about this particular thing. You're going to say, what would be my goals and objectives if I were to buy such a thing? The red hat would break down what would be the emotional results. What's my gut feeling? What's my intuition? What's my initial intuition about getting one of these? Now, I just want to point out, you can turn this into a single piece of content, or you could break each one of these down into individual piece of content. And I'm going to hate saying this right now, but the thought just came to my mind, how I say how much I hate what the D-bags do every time Apple releases a new product. Looking at you, Max and Luke. They almost, though, are doing the 6 hat move. But they don't know that. I know for a fact that neither of them two idiots are smart enough to know. I'm sorry, that's mean. I don't think either of them are smart enough to even understand that they're doing it, but they're probably just doing it because it works. But yeah, let's not egg them on because it's super irritating and it's so transparent that you can tell they're full of crap that it's irritating. Anyway, I'll come back off of that. Okay, so the black hat portion of this brainstorming will break down what would be the potential challenges, what would be the pitfalls, what will be the negatives in upgrading from, say, your original Rode Wireless Go or your Rode Wireless Go 2 to the Rode Wireless Pro. Hey, first off, cost. We know that, right? You got to buy another one. You know what I'm saying? But then the green hat person would be like, you can sell the original one, and now you're only looking at a $150 upgrade. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. So you're going to break those things down, and you're going to make sure to approach all of that into the topic. Why is that important? Because one of the things that we're doing when we're growing audience is we're trying to hit everybody in the audience that you have. Now, I'm not saying everybody is your audience. Please don't get that twisted, because if your audience is everybody, your audience is nobody. I'm saying I can look at my list of kinfolk right here in this joint, and I know that Camera Junkie is a blue hat, green hat kind of cat. You know what I'm saying? I know that Aubrey is green hat just because, but she's also very yellow hat. She's extremely positive. She's very blue hat, right? I know that Paul is a little bit more practical and also emotional. So Paul is going to pull a little red hat, a little black hat, and then maybe a little white hat because he does have that on him. You know what I'm saying? You can just go down. So you know who you're talking to when you break down your particular show and you go down all the different hats and you cover all the points, you're covering all the people in your audience. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So again, the yellow hat is going to come and it's going to list the benefits, the positive, what are all of the aspects of having this, what are the things that are going to make this rock. The white hat would have already specified the numbers. The yellow hat would tell you how that will work for you, right? The red hat would tell you how that'll make you feel. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, this is 32-bit float. And with 32-bit float, you can make sure that you never any piece of audio where you bridge it so high that it causes a ruckus. Or if you record it too low, you'll still be able to, with dynamic range, recover all of that audio. The red hat would then kick in and it's like, good and well, there is nothing better than hearing a problem in your audio, but in your editor, having enough information because of 32-bit float to be able to rescue a piece of bad audio. And once you rescue that bad audio, you feel like a champ, right? See, I just went white hat, red hat right there, right? And actually a little bit of yellow because I explained how that works by telling you that having a 32-bit float means you have more information to edit. So I would have covered the white hat person, the yellow hat person, and the red hat person in that single segment. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So the green hat person is going to generate some creative solutions and overcome challenges. That's when you run the follow-up video. These are 7 tips that you didn't know about using the Rode Wireless Pro, blah, blah, blah. That's when you go green hat. And then thank you, Aubrey. I know how you be. And then the blue hat, you can summarize the whole situation and then bring in all your findings, and that's how you're going to close out a video. So that's how you would use all 6 hats, say, in a product video. Okay, now we about to get dumb because Paul and Gretchen, my gold team, sorry for having booger snotties. My gold team be getting on my case about teaching them some more AI stuffs. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of this one because I made this prompt up completely by my lonesome. I was just poking and thinking and poking, might have been high, but I came up with this on my own and I was quite surprised at how good it worked. It was great. I was like, what? Okay, so I did this using, where'd it go? All right, I did this so this problem can definitely get better, right? But this is just how I did it. And I used my home slice Dina as a thought process because it just happened to pop in my head while I was doing it. But let me show you what I mean. So I said, how could a content creator make several videos on the same topic or theme using 6 hat thinking methodologies? Using the example of cooking healthy on a budget, please explain how to use 6 hat thinking and then make a list of 3 video titles each using each of the 6 hats. Okay? All right, so here it is. So we can skip the summary. All right, we already know what that is, but here's what the topics came up with. So, videos using white hat thinking on the subject. Focus on presenting factual information such as nutritional values, cost, and cooking time. Video 1, nutritional breakdown. Affordable ingredients for healthy meals. Video 2, price comparison, supermarket versus farmer's market for healthy ingredients. Video number 3, 30-minute healthy meals, quick and budget-friendly recipes. Right? Now, with those 3 alone, you can take that even deeper, right? catching seasonal vegetables versus old vegetables, right? How to buy ugly vegetables because they're cheaper, but they taste exactly the same. Like I don't know when I go to the store and I pick up a head of garlic, how old it is. I didn't look it up before, but I know that for some reason, and I have actually, Dina will tell you, I have completely bothered her on this. And I'm like, hey, Dina, I got these garlics and the green little dog thing is sticking out. Like, can I still eat it? And she was like, yeah, dummy, you can eat it. But I didn't know. So I just hit up my resident homie and she said, so like, I would have thrown it away in the past because it started with the little green thing coming out. Right. But she was like, ain't nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, you can plant it and then you can stop going to the store and buying garlic. And I'm like, shut up, Dina. No, I'm joking. But, like these are informations that people in your audience might want to know. And again, I'm just picking, but this will work for any subject matter, right? You could do the same thing. Just take that prompt, throw in your subject, your theme, and then have it pop through. Hershey, long time fam, how are you doing? Aloha in these streets. What it do, beef stew. All right, so let's get back to reality. Oops, there goes Rabbity. Man, I just pressed the same wrong button twice. All right, here we go. All right, so now here's the red hat version of that. All right, share some personal experience, emotional benefits, or the joy of cooking healthy on a budget. How cooking healthy on a budget changed my life. The emotional rewards of eating healthy without breaking the bank. Now, all of these will nail on YouTube just because of the titles. These titles they're well searchable. I put money on it. I don't even know nothing about it, and I'll just put money on it because I know how people think, right? The joy of cooking simple pleasures of budget-friendly, healthy meals, right? And again, you can take each one of those further. Like I said, you should probably be able to use this methodology to generate 30 to 50 titles of videos that you can make on a single theme or subject because you're broaching it from various emotional type joints, right? All right, so let's hit the black hat joint. Discuss the potential challenges of pitfalls and how to avoid them. 5 common mistakes when trying to cook healthy on a budget. Bingo, bango, pickle, mango, right? Is organic always better? Debunking the myths about healthy eating. That one, fam, is a real deal Holyfield, because you and I both know the minute they slap the word organic on something, they charge more, and half of the time it's not true. A large portion of organic farms are owned by Bayer and what's the other damn company? My brain just went dumb. But that is not what they is. They lying. It's not ConAgra. It is, but it's ConAgra, Bayer, and one more whose name just slipped me right when I was about to say it. Anyway, the hidden costs, what to watch out for when cooking healthy on the budget, right? Okay, and again, you can expand any of these topics further to cover all of these here hats, right? Now, yellow hat thinking. Highlight the positive impacts such as improved health, savings, and environmental benefits. Long-term health benefits of budget-friendly healthy eating. Save money, save the planet, equal. That's a dumb title, but you can workshop that. Investing in your health, the ROI of cooking healthy on the budget, right? All right, you can go deep. And why are you getting? I know for a fact right now there's somebody in the chat right now who going, okay, those are good, but those ideas don't work for me. It wasn't Monsanto, but I'm sure they're on the list too. And I don't know why I can't remember what. Dole, ConAgra, and Bayer. Those are the 3. Dole. Yeah, and I should remember Dole because they effed up the majority of Hawaii. Dole pineapples, yeah. Sugar, yeah. Anyway, I know some of y'all are sitting in chat thinking that it won't work for you. BS. You can just try it with a different subject. And if somebody gives me a good subject, I'll run it live and see what we come out with. Because I'm telling you, this one was easy, but that's the one that popped in my head. But I'm sure you could do this with just about any topic matter. All right, let's get back at it. And thanks, Brian, for helping me trigger that recall. All right, so The green hat methodologies. We're going to showcase some innovative recipes, cooking hats, and unique ways to make healthy meals more affordable, right? Creative twist. Healthy and budget-friendly fusion recipes. Like that idea. Meal prep hack. How make healthy budget meals last longer. That's dope because when I was meal prepping, calling myself bodybuilding, that was something I would find one that I left in the back of the fridge because, happened to eat out that one time and then just mess you all the way up. And DIY healthy snacks, affordable alternatives to store-bought options. Dina actually already has stuff like that on her channel, just not titled like that. But, again, I would workshop these titles with vidIQ or something of that nature. But if you look here, I actually had the vidIQ plugin rocking when I wrote this. So, hey, I'm just saying. All right, let's get down to some blue hat joints. Summarize the takeaways, best practices, a roadmap for healthy cooking on the budget, the ultimate guide to cooking healthy on the budget. Boom, a summary. Boom, your 30-day plan for healthy, budget-friendly eating. Not only is that a video, that could be turned into a downloadable or something you could sell on your fourth wall. Top 10 tips for mastering the art of healthy cooking on the budget. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So just know you can incorporate data analytics to measure success each video type. Think about what type of partners or collaborations you can use to amplify any of these videos. And you could create a series or playlist to enhance viewer engagement and retention. And then, of course, they just put in their little BS, which I already done told you. Like, by doing this, you can hit all your audience from all of the different perspectives just by doing the damn thing. So, fam, I'm listening. I don't know how it just hit me like a ton of Brizzix. I don't think this will fit, but let's see if it'll fit. Did it get truncated? Yes, it did. Let me do the second half. I'm going to do the second half. And again, you can fix this. You can run this into Prompt Perfect or something. You can make it better. But that's just how I did it. And if anybody wants to throw a subject at me, I'll throw it at the chat to see what goes. But that's the basics. I mean, that is legit the basics. It is super simple and quite dope how it works. Like, it is really quite dope how it works. I highly suggest if you're finding yourself like, I just need to come up with some better ideas, or it might even be a good way to reapproach videos that you've already made. Take the most successful video on your channel and then run it through the thought process of the 6 hat thinking. And I put money on the fact you could probably generate 10, 20, maybe 30 other videos based off of that original video to reapproach it and put it back out there and just keep feeding off of the same thing. It's kind of like cutting up a potato and pulling more. Fountain pens is a broad subject. Fountain pens what? All right. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Fountain pens is an example, but you know what I'm saying? You can't go to ChatGPT and go fountain pens. It's going to be like, what? Like, what about fountain pens? Right? You know what I'm saying? You want to go from, you having a topic is one segment, but you want to have the deeper side of it. I don't even know how I'm trying to say that, but Arbor, you know what I'm trying to say. ChatGPT and Trello. Yeah, actually, one of the tips that I thought about when I was doing this is definitely breaking it down in Trello, because you can organize it according to the different hats. So you can make a Trello or Notion board that has the various segments, and you could put the topics under each individual one. Okay. So let's copy this. And go back to the browse. Let's hit up a new one. And then let's paste it in. All right, so I said, use an example for budget friendly versus premium fountain pens. Much better than what Aubrey said, but she's also high. um, then buying new versus repairing vintage fountain pens. Anyway, so that's what I came up with. And then Dina, I'm actually going to kick you the link to the one that I made, so you can go and play with it and see what you get. But I don't know why the cooking thing just popped in my head, but it seemed like it would work, and it totally worked. But I mean, you might have a better thing as far as, like, some of your personal ag versus a commercial ag type stuff. I don't know, but I just thought it would be cool. Anyways, here we go, Arby. Let's see what we get. Oh, I'm completely effed up. I should have told you guys which plugins I'm using. She's, Aubrey, we both got to get litty before class. Yo, I'm super proud of myself, so I'm a little giddy because I legit came up with this prompt by my damn self, and I just gotta make it better. I'm gonna keep tweaking it, and these are nothing but facts, Dina, 100%. Man, fam, I wish I could just peruse you through the produce section at freaking Japan grocery stores. It would blow your mind. And then we went to Herb Garden. That's what they call it, but it's not really an herb garden, on the mountain in Kobe, where they've gone out of their way to plant basically one of everything that could possibly grow in that climate. And so as you're walking down the mountain, you see everything from all myriad sorts of peppers. They had green peppers were in season right then. You had like tomatoes on the tree, onions, garlics, like every herb you could think of. I didn't know this, but I smelled the plant that looks like rosemary, but when you rub it, it smells like curry. It was crazy. It was quite amazing to see this joint. And yeah, man, look, you're getting in my way. Some of you stuff. I have plugins that when you make your window tiny, they just look horrible. It's coming, Hirsch. It's coming. All right, we don't need to read the summary. Let's just get into Aubrey's videos. Okay, so based in the white hat category, we have the real cost, budget versus premium fountain pens. Boom. How much does it cost to repair a vintage fountain pen? Ink capacity, budget versus premium fountain pens. Material compositions, budget these titles are dumb, but the topics are great. I would workshop every one of these titles to make them better. But in the videos, I would not in the videos, in the thumbnail, I would definitely make it very focused on budget versus premium fountain pens. But you can use vidIQ and ChatGPT to flex these titles better. But the topics are dope. Okay, the lifespan of new versus vintage fountain pens. That's kind of a difficult one, but I kind of get it. All right, on the emotional side, the joy of writing with the premium fountain pen, or writing with a premium fountain pen versus a budget fountain pen. Like, that would be a dope one, because I know for a fact that I can tell the difference in my stationery, because I tend to buy, I'm a stationary crackhead. I tend to buy nice pens, and they definitely feel better when you're writing with a nice pen versus a piece of crap. That blue thing that we used to flick the tip off. Papermate, there you go. Sentimental values of repairing a vintage fountain pen. Why budget fountain pens make me happy. You could be like, these are the top 10, budget fountain pens that just came in the market that have a premium feel but won't break the bank. Things like that. Frustrations of repairing a vintage fountain pen. The emotional roller coaster, budget versus premium fountain pens. Boom. Let's get critical. Why budget fountain pens aren't always the best choice. That is a doc video right there. The hidden cost of owning a premium fountain pen. That's another good video. The risk of repairing vintage fountain pens. Boom. That's a little iffy, but I might work on that. Quality control, budget versus premium fountain pens. 100%. I guarantee you that's a hitter, right? Why repairing vintage fountain pen is worth it. Boom. Flip it. Why repairing a vintage fountain pen isn't worth it. Boom. Gangster. Why budget fountain pens are a great investment. The long-term benefits of owning a premium fountain pen. The joy of restoring a vintage fountain pen. How budget fountain pens can improve your writing. I don't know about that. You tripping. Let's go ahead and call that you tripping. Sustainability factor. Repairing vintage fountain pens. This, my friend, is pure gold. So using the creative and new ideas, innovative ways to customize your budget fountain pen, I would definitely say gold. How to make premium fountain pens a family heirloom. Make it a hand-me-down joint. I'm going to go with that. Creative uses for vintage fountain pens. DIY repairs for vintage fountain pen. This is a Paul C video all day. Paul, you stupid. How to mix and match budget and premium fountain pen components. Oh, that would be good, right? Because you got a vintage premium, but you need to get some upgrade to vintage budget components. That makes sense. Choose between budget and premium fountain pens, a comprehensive guide. That, my friends, would be a good, you can sell that joint, or, loss leader for your mail list, bang, bang, and a video. Guide to repairing versus buying new fountain pens. Also, good topic. And I'm going to go ahead and half-breed this because I think it's also a good seller. I guess you can't do that. The budget-making process, the decision-making process, budget versus premium fountain pens, that needs to be workshopped. The roadmap to owning a vintage fountain pen, that also needs to be workshopped. I get where they're going, but it's just bad. And how to make an informed decision, new versus vintage. That is a gold one right there. You see, so yes, Aubrey, you can make it work with any subject matter. I'm going to highly suggest you guys get in there, play around with it a little bit. And again, my prompt isn't perfect yet. I just made it. I will keep tweaking it. For those of you who are in the members segment, I'm going to hit you with a Notion link that has what I'm working on, and it's a live document, so I can just update it on the fly. And then if you have any suggestions, by all means, holla at your boy. I would throw them in there. And then I'm going to send this linky link. I wonder if, I think this works. This was the basics. So let's do this and let's try. I know I'm going to do it wrong, because I can't type. Try that and see if that works. Yeah. Bingo, bango, pickle, mango. That's it. We're keeping it mad short. And then where was my man's over here? Where'd it go? Man, this is why you're supposed to start things so that you can find them. You dummy. There you go. Charles, I found it. All right, so let me see if I can give Charles the walkthrough. First things first, let me see if I can fire up the old eyeballs here and make it work, because I don't want to plug the cable in. Let's see. And that's going to require me. Where did I do with that stupid Android? Man, this thing is so freaking amazing, people. I'm having so much fun playing with this. Today, I'm going to attempt to take it outside and record in the streets. Man, can I tell you guys how much how much I really hate this freaking Android? It sucks. All right, wake up, camera. Thank you, Charles, for still being here. I will show you my little setup. Come on, wake up, Maggie. It's trying to find this stupid Android. Louise, why didn't you tell me that it sucks so bad? Because, Rich, I'm testing this camera and the pre-release app only has Android, and it hurts my feelings. What it do, Mr. Richie? What it do? Really? Is that true? Because I use it on my Mac, so I never done it the way you're talking about done it. Yeah, I told them the minute they have the iOS app ready, please let me know. Because every time I touch this Android, I want to freaking punch it. What? Nah, man. What do you mean you're bad? You're cool. What are you talking about? Oh, yes. Who asked that question? All right. I think I got it. The reason why it's all messed up is because I took it upstairs yesterday and I was playing around with it. Wait, YouTube creators Android only too? Why? Why would they do that? No. I got this is a pre-release of the Osmo Tail Air, Renee. It is a super sick like PTZ cam that's completely self-contained. Like it has an SD card so you can record 4K 60 direct. It got HDMI out. You can use the USB-C to connect it UVC to your computer. You can connect it to a USB-C to Ethernet adapter, which it comes with, so you can NDI it or RTSP it. This camera is super sick, and the PTZ is phenomenal. But what I'm gonna use it for is to stream basically this camera so that way I can show Charles my studio, because that's what Charles' question was, and I don't have to plug in any cable-less. I can just go with it, which is kind of phenomenal. All right, test the camera. Oh, the only one thing in the pre-release right now, I always have to go in and turn on the RTSP, like it doesn't stick. I wish they would fix that. Yo, this thing is so dope. Yes, it's a very Alex Lindsay statement. And it is, boom, boom, boom. It is available on the Kickstarter now. And I'm just going to go ahead and call it dope. I'm going to call it absolutely dope. And this is the pre-release, and it's this sick. By the time they get finished and pull out an iOS app, this camera is going to be a whole different ball game. All right, so I got my camera. Turn it on. Boom. Select. Bah, where you go? Where you go? Bam, there it is. All right. Oh, reply was short was iOS first. Okay, so I got this Android, so now I guess this means, okay, question, Renee. This is, back from your old company. This is an old school Android, I think. I want to call it something 7. I know what the word is. Galaxy 7. Can I run YouTube Create on this? That would be the question. All right. Anyway, so, woo, don't point it at that. That's going to look ugly. Ooh, stop spitting so fast. All right. I am going to show you now. It's kind of bugging out. Man, cool it with that. I need you to go away. I got things from my calendar popping up on here. Galaxy S7. Thank you. Somebody knows more than I do. These things are dumb. Whoever came up with these phones should be, oh yeah, Google. Renee's company. All right, so this thing is glitching right now because my Wi-Fi is stupid, but let me show you. Up there in the top is a 60-watt NAND light with a parabolic balloon on it that is skirting 3 sides, right? Because I don't want my room to be like crazy bright. So the only thing that's coming out of that particular corner is this piece here is lighting my face as a fill. This one, Yosemite Samsung, is a 200-watt NAND light with a 24-inch dome with a 45-degree grid. Again, the grid makes sure that the light doesn't pass my melon, right? So when you see this, the light comes straight down to me, but once my hand gets about right here, it's out of the light. That's in the light, out of the light. That's what you use a grid for. Because if I take off the grid, the whole room is glowing and I look like Chernobyl up in this piece. Now, in the back there is an Aperture B7C light bulb in a light that I got from Swap Meet for like 10 bones. And I just threw in light in there so that it just looks cool. It glows a purps, and that way my wall glows purple. The walls are absolutely gray. Behind the Vision of Telly, there is a Pavo Tube 15-inch Pavo Tube X. They are pixel tubes. And right now they're set in various gradient of purple, one on each side. And on the bottom of them, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Nanlite 5Cs, which I can show you in a second. So, underneath the television, there are 4 Nanlite 5Cs, just like this, placed along the bottom edge. That gives the little bit more glow. Up in the ceiling, up in the Bronx, where the people are fresh, there are one DJ who could pass the test. Up in the ceiling, there's a hair light, which was a leftover panel mistake I bought when I was dumb. Then there is a Paul tweet YouTube creator liaison, and don't harass Renee in the chat. There is a Nanlite Pavo Tube 15C. There is a cold bore 200 watt, cold bore 60 watt RGB blasting the wall. There's another Nanlite Pavo Tube 6C blasting the door. There are Pavo Tube 6Cs that are in the toolbox. I pulled one out yesterday to do a demonstration. This is a Pavo Tube 6C, but normally it's glowing in the toolbox, and I have two of those in the toolbox, and then I have some more Nanlite 5Cs in the bookshelf. So I have about 18 lights in here, all video lights, no Philips Hue, no weird shit like that. I run like, proper video lights that won't cause your studio to look weird. But since I bought all of this stuff, I did it one piece at a time. I didn't go psycho. Don't do that. But start out with one $70 5C, and then add another, and then another, and then another, and then another, until you got it set up. Like, don't go drop $50, $100 on a bunch of lights. But also, things like the cold bore RGB that came out, when I first set this room up, that would have been a $700 light. Now it's a $200 light. You know what I'm saying? So, and all of this stuff is on my kit page. So if you just go to docrock.live/kit, you'll see all the links in there. Or just go amazon.com/shop/docrock and just search your heart's content. There's pretty much nowadays, other than buying things that aren't video lights, I might go on the limb and say there's really not too many shitty video lights. Like, most of the stuff that's out there that's made specifically for video, most of it out there is gangster. If you have a question, you're like unsure, just DM me, be like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this GVM 620. Should I buy it? Yes, GVM is pretty good. Great video maker. Should I buy a Neewer lights? Yeah, Neewer lights are dope. Like, they're not really bad. The only lights I would tell, nobody get mad. I don't care if you bought it. I don't want to hear your feelings. Just trust me. I've used them and they suck. The only lights I would tell you absolutely don't buy for any reason is Elgato key lights. They're for the price, they're silly, right? Elgato key light is going to set you back 200 bones. And for that, you could almost buy two Cobalt 60 watt full blast ass lights like the one I have right here. When I bought that Nanlite 60, it was a $300 light. Now you could buy that same light for like $99, $100. You could buy the 40 watt versions from Ulanzi for like $80. So yes. And the other thing, definitely listen to Big Store over here. Do not mix street lights and video lights. It would cause all kind of issues. But you can't mix brands. I have Cobor and Nanlite right now. I was Nanlite crazy for a while. Cobor was like, hey man, you want to go on a date? And I was like, well, absolutely. And then they gave me some lights and I really love them. For the quality, for the price, they're really hard to F with. Nanlite is, a main squeeze, but Cobor is an amazing side piece as well. I'll show you real quick. These joints are not expensive at all. And look, so this is the basic joint right here, $129. If you watch, sometimes it'll be $110, but it just has to do with fluctuation in currency. And it comes with a bag, battery operatable, like it's super handy, real clean light. Throw a modifier on that baby, like a balloon. game recognized game. You're square. You don't have to worry about nothing. So no reason to be out here looking unlit in these here streets. Gangster. All right, fam. See, that's why he asked the question about lights in the first place, Charles, is because they suck. And people be buying them because like, oh, my streamer friend said buy Elgato. Man, tell your streamer friend to eat a sandwich. Almost messed that up. Yeah, they don't throw very far. But they work with the Stream Deck. I don't give a, you can't press a button. Mine don't have no Stream Deck, but this remote control, $12. You know what this remote control does? Turn off the light. $12. So I need a Stream Deck? Nah, you use a remote control. $12. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't get twisted in, oh, you can press the button on the Stream Deck. Yeah, I can press NAND lights on the Stream Deck too because you can run iPhone apps on your Mac. And so I can put the NAND light iPhone app on your Mac and I can actually do the same thing. But whatever, man. Whatever. That is all. Oh, I do have one hidden piece which makes it easier. You don't have to do this. This is the Wi-Fi box by Nanlite, and what this does is it makes sure that all of my signals work better. So you can totally do it without it, but you're going to be basically individually controlling each by the Bluetooth LE in your phone. I use all of the lights that Nanlite makes has Bluetooth and it has 2.4 gigahertz wireless. So this box allows me to do this. Here's the biggest problem. They are not video lights. You have never, ever walked into a studio production and seen somebody using non-video lights. Why? Because they lose sync. And the minute they lose sync, your whole joint is flickering. Flicker. And we don't want that. I mean, nah, I need that. So, yeah. Not my fault. No, I'm sorry. You should ask me. I would have helped you because this thing is gold. This thing makes life so much easier for me. But I did a whole beginning of the show that you need to see. I'll get the timestamp for you, Kills, but I had ideas for y'all's. Anyway. Yeah, Brian, normally what happens with people with regular house store-bought lights is they work for a while, and then the 1 second that it loses sync with your camera, you'll never get it back because it's not lights should flicker at 60 times a second based off of United States of America. If you live in the UK, they should flicker at 50 frames per second. So it's the reason why we got video cameras working at 30 and 60 so you wouldn't see light flicker. And then fluorescent tube came out, caused flicker. Also why when you used to point a camera at the TV, you would get the because the vertical scroll was not exactly 50. It was 29.97. It wasn't exactly 30. Or it'd be 59.97. So not exactly 60. So you get the vertical scroll on your TV. But now we got these kind of TVs. They don't flicker. It has to be a multiple of whatever your frame rate is on your camera. You know what I'm saying? And with a video light, it knows that, and it doesn't do that. It operates at the frequencies that don't allow your camera to see flicker. I even have plugged in Christmas bulbs on my little tree back there. I think I took them off. I did. I did not. If I plug that in right now, those are Philips Hue Christmas string, and they flicker because they are not at the right frame rate. Now, if you have an A7 III, A7 IV, you know, when you see some of the pro guys that say, I'm using Philips Hue light, that's because on a $4,000 camera, you can tweak the shutter speed to not exactly be 60. But if you're shooting off of a $1,000 camera, you don't got that, so you can't do that. It ain't gonna work. So just don't even waste your time. It's not worth it. You will spend $150 on Philips Hue lights trying to be cute, and you could buy one Cobor CL RGB for $200. Just saying. and do the same thing. So don't bother. Skip it. Skip it. All right, fam. I'm out like shout. I will catch you guys on Tuesday. Yeah, I can't pop into Discord right now. I got to go pick up Emma, for her swimming thing and then make it back in time for class. I am uncle sitting today, or she is uncle sitting, which means that mostly we're going to play Xbox. But I love you guys. I appreciate it. And man, Kills, please drop back to the top of the show. It's probably only like maybe 10 minutes in, you hear me talking about an idea I have for the Creator Pod, or Dina and Michelle and this dude can fill you in because we spoke about it at the top of the show. Anyway, appreciate y'all, fam. Love you much. I will see you in the next one. Mahalo nui. Where the damn button at?